series. So I'm not going to go crazy, and I'm not going to say, oh, we got him. No, great win. You took care of business, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It will mean nothing if you don't go out and win game 6. I know we played great tonight, great team ball, especially in that second half, but you got to if you want to fucking, be taken seriously, you got to go out and win in Indiana. And it's that simple. And I know you guys, may think differently than me, but right now, that's where I'm at.
Let me break some down for you guys. Ready? I don't think. I know that we are a better team than them.
Really?
I know, yes. And I also know that if we could have handled game 1, we would have had this series. Now, with that being said, sometimes the better team doesn't always win the series. Usually they do, especially in a 7-game series in the NBA for the most part. Even in baseball, you see the best team usually wins. This could be a situation where the better team doesn't win. But I'm here to say, and I fully believe this, and I'm not saying this as a Knicks homer. I'm not saying this because I want to flip the script here verbally. I'm just telling it like it is. The New York Knicks are better than the Indiana Pacers. They are more talented. Yes. Do the Pacers have a more cohesive unit? Can they beat you, like Eddie said last week, by committee? Absolutely. That's how they win. Are they better coached in certain ways? Yes. They probably are. But the New York Knicks, with Karl Anthony Towns, with Jalen Brunson, with Mitch, the minutes he's giving us, with OG and Mikal playing good enough tonight. They didn't play well. OG had a bad game shooting-wise. They played good enough. This team is better than the Nembhard, Nesmith, Siakam, Halliburton Pacers. They just are. There was a reason we were favored before the series, and there's a reason that there's going to be people talking about the Knicks maybe being able to force a game 7. Gun to my head, we're not going to win the series. Gun to my head. You got to put me in a corner.
6.
Yeah, 6, maybe even 7. It's tough. Like you're saying, it's tough
if
to
we
beat
get
a
to
team.
7 and losing 7, I'd rather just lose in 6.
Well, let me say something. Like you were saying, Eddie, they haven't lost back-to-back since March. So this has been one of the hottest teams in the
February.
Yeah, this has been one of the this has been one of the hottest teams in the league in the second half of the season.
Hottest team in the NBA other than the Cleveland Cavaliers since January 1st, 2025.
Yep. But Eddie, they could have taken care of business tonight, Indiana, and they did not.
But it was
Knicks
a wire win, Frankie.
The Knicks played.
This was like a regular season.
Eddie, the Knicks played New York Knicks basketball. When we spanked that Boston ass in game 6 is exactly what we did tonight. I told you guys this. I was wrong. Last thing I'm going to say, I was wrong saying that the Knicks weren't going to win tonight. I said Indiana would win, and we didn't have it. But the only chance we have to win this series is if, Jimmy, what did I say? The Knicks come out this game and game 6 it like we did against Boston. And that's what they did tonight. So to me, they have a chance now, a realistic chance to force a game 7, and then you could flip the coin. But I think game 6 is going to be the most challenging game the Knicks have had all year. Yeah. But that's all I have to say. Great win by the Knicks. Shout outs to them. Shout outs to Tibbs. Shout outs to Jalen, Cat, the gang there. They took care of business, and they took care of business handily.
Jimmy.
I'm feeling good. Listen, I said this team was going to make a game 7 last pod, and I'm still sticking to it. I don't know if we're going to win game 7. I think we can beat the Pacers twice in a row. And Eddie, you said they haven't lost 2 in a row since what, March?
March 9th and 10th.
That tells me they're due to lose 2 in a row. They're due to lose 2 in a row. It's been a while. They're due to lose 2 in a row. Now's the time to do it. Force a game 7. And I get what you said earlier, Eddie, that you'd rather just lose in 6 than lose in 7. But forcing a game 7 would show me so much about this team, because there's a lot of people talking right now. Like we talked about it on the last post-game show. You know, are they going to break this team apart in the offseason? Is this the right team? Is this the right starting 5? If they force a game 7, no matter what happens, I think it will show us that this team has grit. They can build off something if they can force a game 7. Because being down 3-1, it's tough to come back to. I will give them that. Winning 3 games in a row.
13 teams have come back from a 3-1 deficit out of like 284 times since 1980.
Those teams have been very good.
I love how Eddie's trying to, you see Jimmy Eddie here, he's trying to already here. He's trying to tame us a little bit. He's trying to, temper expectations. I like when Eddie does this. No. He should not. No. Tonight is not the night. Eddie, I love you. You're the best. I love you. But tonight ain't the night.
I just don't want you to be a delusional Knicks fan.
You know what? I'm going to be a little delusional. I'm looking at the glass half full. You're looking at the glass half empty, or maybe it's the opposite. But, man, come on. The Knicks did what they had to do to give themselves a chance in the series. Mentally speaking, they were all in the minus 20s. If you want to look at plus minus, Indiana.
Yeah, let's look at that.
Yeah, Indiana starting roster
tonight.
Neesmith minus 20 plus minus, Turner minus 20, Nimhard minus 25, Halliburton minus 23. The interesting thing is, by the way, 3 points Neesmith had, 5 points Miles Turner had. These are their starters. 6 points Nemhard had, and 8 points Halliburton had, of which Halliburton didn't even score in the first half. Siakam was the anomaly, minus 1.
I'll tell you about this. You want to trash Halliburton? Go ahead, trash him all you want.
He had a shitty game. Yeah, I'm gonna.
Yes,
why not?
Every time he has a shitty game, like in game 1, he comes out in game 2 and fucking lights a fire. So again, I have a lot of worries going into game 6. I have a lot of worries.
A lot?
I have a lot of worries. Yes, I do.
Well, Eddie, they didn't play
back
well.
To Indiana, where they've been fucking phenomenal. They've lost what? 1 game there, I think.
1 game.
One game, just to us. They've been phenomenal, and now Halliburton's coming off a fucking putrid performance. So that to me worries me. I'm sorry, it does.
The Knicks came out desperate tonight, and like you said, Eddie, I still have a lot to worry about. I think us as Knicks fans, we do have a lot to worry about. But the key is going to be, how desperate are the Knicks going to be? Because the Pacers are going to be just as desperate as we were tonight. They want to close us off. They don't want game 7. They don't want that pressure on them. If we force a game 7, pressure's not on the Knicks in game 7. Pressure's on the Pacers. Because we can lose in 7. Oh, 100%.
You agree with that, Frankie?
Blowing a 3-1 lead?
Do I agree with what? That we could lose this in game 7?
No. Game 7. Is the pressure on the Knicks or the Pacers?
Pacers. Actually, that's a good question. I mean, game 6, the pressure's all going to be on Indiana. They're at home. Game 7, I think, no, the pressure will be on the Knicks in game 7. Excuse me. If it gets to game 7. But, all right, statistically speaking, if we're going to break this down, the Knicks, we can look at the odds. They'll be out soon. They're probably out now if someone can get those. But the odds of the Knicks winning the series, it's still going to be Indiana. Indiana's going to be what? Minus 180, 220, maybe even high. I don't know, something like that, right? Maybe even higher, maybe minus 300, because it's rare for a team to come back from 3-1. The Nuggets did it twice in the bubble in 2020. And then before that, it was LeBron.
But 2020, I mean, I'm going to take that season for what it is.
And the Nuggets, two great teams.
For sure.
Nuggets.
It's not, Eddie, I think right now that the NBA is changing. And what I mean by that is you can score you can make up a big amount of point difference in a short amount of time. You can score a lot of points in a low amount of time. I think if you're a better team, you can recover in situations where you're down 10 going into the 4th because you're a better team. I just think at this point, the Knicks have an opportunity where even if they're down in game 6, I'm telling you, they are better than Indiana. Now, do I think Indiana plays better? Yes, but they're not a better overall team. And Eddie, tonight, not one player on Indiana tonight scored over 15 points. 4 of the 5 starters scored under 10 points. Do you think this is a potentially a mental edge game, a game-setting type of performance by the Knicks where that can carry over to the next game? This is exactly what the Knicks needed to do to give themselves a shot. I said it, gun to my head. I don't think we're going to win the series. However, we got some juju, man. We got some juju. We didn't win by but we kicked their ass all night. Were they even up at any point tonight?
For the first time, we won 3 out of 4 quarters, and we actually tied the fourth quarter, 21-21. That has not happened in the entire series. They've beaten us almost every single quarter, especially in their wins and losses. They've beaten us like for at least half the game. So for the first time all series, we had pretty much a wire-to-wire victory. They might have had the lead at some point, but I'm just saying, that's big. 60 points in the paint to Indiana's 34. That's a plus 26. That's huge. 26 bench points out of us, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
Usually we're lucky to get 10, 15.
Yep.
They had 57 bench points. And again, points over turnovers, not as bad. We were a -5. They were 20 points over turnovers to our 15.
We had less turnovers this game too, right?
Yeah, I believe.
That's because they're a better fast break team. That's why they probably have more points off turnovers.
As far as the shooting goes, Indiana went cold in that second half. They shot 44% from the field. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 3 of 12 from 3. That's about 30%, I guess. And we were 21 of 44 from the field. We missed a lot of 3-pointers tonight too. So it was a wire-to-wire victory. They did not have the lead the entire game. So that was like a regular season game tonight. Tonight was a regular season game, wire-to-wire. That's what we would see against Washington and even when we had beat better teams, wire-to-wire. We never saw that at all in the playoffs.
Yeah,
Eddie, can you share? Eddie, can you do me a favor? Can you share the screen that I just added right there? Share this. All right. Look at these points right here.
How do I zoom in on this?
Look at those starter points right there. Look at that. That is an embarrassment. That is an embarrassment for a team that's ready to close you out.
Mathurin had over 20.
Yeah, Mathurin had a great game again. However, the starters completely shit the bed. All of them. Maybe Siakam was the only one. Again, Siakam. He's a quality player. Doesn't really play bad.
What did he get, Siakam? 15? That's good.
Yeah, he was a -1. But Eddie, 3 points, 5 points. Do you guys remember? I don't remember ever seeing a team that was on the verge of going to the NBA Finals put up that kind of numbers for starters. You're talking about 3, 5, 6, and 8. It's like counting from fucking
Obi Toppin had a
3,
nice
4,
game.
5, 6. I mean, that's pathetic. That is literally pathetic. And to say
that's where you got to give the Knicks credit tonight, though. That's where I'll give them credit. We came in, we had a job to do, and we did it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? We did what we had to do. And look, we shot well. We kept them under 50%. I mean, what did they shoot tonight? Well, they had to be in the 30s, no, or low 40s.
They shot 40.5%, so 40%.
40%.
We shot almost 50%. We shot 49.4%.
That's the way we win ball games. We outshoot the other team. Now what you do is, how do you go in and attack game 6? That's the question. I'm worried about
tonight.
Okay.
They put a lot of pressure on defense tonight, and that's the only thing I'm worried. I feel like they play desperate. They play desperate defense. They need to play desperate defense the rest of this series, because the Pacers, we all know, they push that pace. I think we doubled them too in pace points. I could be wrong.
Yeah. The Knicks, let's be honest though, the Knicks didn't even shoot well from 3 tonight. The numbers speak for themselves. They were 8 of 29.
Second half, we only hit. I think we only hit 2 or 3 3-pointers the entire second half.
Yeah,
Bridges was 0 of 3 from 3. Anunoby was 1 of 7 again, so he was 1 of 7 last game from 3. 1 of 7. Towns was 1 of 4 from 3. Towns was plus 26.
That's my kryptonite. OG and Yale from 3. What the fuck are these guys doing?
Yeah, we do
We
need
them to hit shots,
especially in Game 6. Because I don't think Game 6, the Pacers aren't going to shoot that bad again. They're going to come out firing. They're going to be desperate. Like Eddie said, they should have, like Frankie, I think you mentioned it too, with a chance to go to the NBA Finals, you would expect some of their starters to really come out and just want to get it done, want to stomp on our necks. But the Knicks did a great job in not letting that happen. But I don't see the Pacers shooting that bad again in Game 6. So we need, like Eddie said, we need OG and Mikal Bridges to step it up because we're going to need them. We know Brunson and Cat are going to give us buckets. But what are those two going to do?
The Knicks tonight slowed the game down. And like I said, the only weakness Indiana has as a unit is when you slow it down and make them play half-court playoff basketball. They are not going to be able to put up enough points. They are incredible off turnovers. They're great on the fast break. They're great in general when the game is moving at a fast pace. Tonight, and shout-outs to Tibbs, shout-outs to Brunson's data, shout-outs to all those guys on that bench, the coaches. They literally said, we're going to slow this game down. And if the Knicks can manage to keep a slow pace, which I don't think they're going to be able to do in Indiana, so the Knicks better get ready. You can't shoot. OG and Mikal can't go 1 of 10 from 3 in Indiana. So you just got to hope one of those guys can get hot from 3. Brunson and Cat are going to do Brunson and Cat things offensively. Hopefully you can limit the turnovers. And we might be talking about a Game 7 come Saturday night. So this is big, guys. This is exactly what they needed to do. I know I'm being an optimist here, but Eddie, I mean, Jimmy, what else could you have asked for here?
I mean, look, they got the win. I'm happy. It was a fucking. This is what I was expecting the entire series. This is what I was expecting. It was, for me, it was Knicks in 5, and this was the way we were going to beat them. Again, this is a team that it was a Band-Aid squad last year that took this same Pacers team. They're not that much different. All right. And we took them to 7 games. And we were up on them. What were we up 2-1 or 3-1? We were almost up 3. We were up 2-1. And then they got that miracle where they tied it. And this is a team that we should have fucking beat. But we blew so many opportunities that here we are. And we're, it sucks that we have to now go into Indiana and you have to play perfect in Indiana. If you want to beat them,
I agree with that.
You got to have like 10 turnovers. You got to slow them down, like you guys mentioned. You have to have contributions all over the place, up and down the roster. If we want to beat them in Game 6, OG and Mikal Bridges are the key to me. They have to. I need like 20-point games out of each of them. Yep. I need them to start hitting 3-pointers,
or at least one of them to go for 26, 27 points. One of them, and the other one could give you 15 to 17, which is their average basically this series. And then
it has to be up.
Yeah, you want 40. Yeah, you're right. You want 40 plus out of both of those guys, however you slice it, right? Like maybe even more, maybe 45 you want out of those two. But Eddie, I think, and Jimmy, I really think the Knicks tonight came into this game with the mentality we're effing ourselves this whole series. We screwed up in Game 1. We are better than these guys, and we're going to prove it tonight. And they did. This wasn't a 40-point blowout. This isn't an OKC kind of win, but this is a freaking Knicks win. This is like, you're going to play our brand of basketball, and if you do, you're not going to win. And that's a fact. We had them playing our brand of ball. When we play their brand of ball,
we lose.
Yeah, exactly. So the Knicks, I think next game's going to be a clash between our brand of ball, their brand of ball. It's going to meet in the middle. And honestly, if the pace isn't that high, I still give the edge to the Knicks. That's the difference. I think we could meet in the middle with both brands, and we're going to beat them. They can't beat us at our brand. We really can't beat them at theirs, but we can if it doesn't get out of hand where they're scoring 130 points like they did last game. But this is exactly what we needed to happen tonight, boys. One
thing I noticed tonight was the point of attack defense was good by the secondary guys.
Very good.
So it was Mikal Bridges on Halliburton, and then they would switch off, and they did a good job. Mitchell Robinson was like he was in the back, past the point of attack. Mikal was fighting through screens. Same with OG Anunoby. The defense to me was the difference, and that's something I haven't seen all series. especially from Mikal Bridges. He's been a guy that's been, trailing on that point of attack. He's getting fucking beat up his screens. And, Karl-Anthony Towns, too, he got into foul trouble early. He got those 4 fouls in the third quarter. He could have went for 30, 35 if he didn't get into foul trouble tonight.
Mm-hmm. He's been our best player this series. I mean, again tonight, I think he was a plus 20 something. And
yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, he was a plus 20 something. And Cat's undoubtedly been the best player in this series. And I'm not really surprised because in the regular season,
has been the best player in the series.
No, I'm saying on the Knicks. Siakam is undoubtedly, I think maybe Tyrese Halliburton over Siakam. He's just been a little bit more consistent.
I think Siakam's been more consistent, no? Siakam showed up every game for them. Like Halliburton's kind of Halliburton had a bad game 3, I believe, in games 1 and 2. I don't know if 2 he was that great, but 1 he was obviously great. He said, he tied the game for them last possession.
Yeah, and the sad part is, this is the only thing that sucks. We should be up 3-2.
Yeah, I mean, listen. At the end of the day,
I was saying that though.
I know.
It's not how it is.
Listen. I was saying this from the beginning, and we said it last show. If you win game 1, I think if you win game 1, right? I think it was going to go 7, and we beat them in 7. If we won game 1, I think tonight would have looked like a potential game 7, assuming that situation played itself out. That's not where we're at. If we would have
won game 1, we probably are talking about us winning tonight. It's probably over tonight. It would have been us in 6.
Yeah.
Potentially, yeah. I mean, yeah, you're having that conversation about going back to, going to Indiana and beating them.
Let's think about it. It would have been 1-1. We would be, it would be 3-2 us instead of 3-2 them.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, listen, we're going to find out a lot we found out a little bit tonight. We found out a little bit about this team and the grit with this team. By the way, a bunch of people I know, a bunch of Knicks fans I know, they didn't even watch the first half of this game. I had a bunch of buddies texting me.
Really?
People were checked out. Yeah, they didn't even care. First of all, a lot of people that I know didn't believe the Knicks were going to win tonight. And even if they did, it wouldn't have been convincing enough. It's like you were saying, Eddie, are you going to tease us? Are you going to get us off and then ultimately to slap us in the face? But
there's nothing worse than that, by the way, either. Like, if we go into game 6 and we just get our asses kicked, I'm gonna feel so much worse. I'm gonna feel worse. I'm gonna see those assholes celebrating with their yes sirs fucking shirt. Fuck you fucking
slogan ever. Yes sirs.
Yeah, yes sirs. Get the fuck out of here. I don't know.
Did you get what I meant last show by the yes sirs?
Yeah, yes sirs. Yes sirs. Fuck you, Indiana.
Hey man, I mean, boys, we said it. The Knicks, the only chance they would have had in this series is if they completely clamped it down and they put together a game plan and a strategy and an execution from start to finish that we are better than you. We're going to prove it.
But we're not.
Eddie, listen, tonight's performance by Indiana was embarrassing on their accord. It's embarrassing. 8 points, 6 points.
They missed shots.
Points.
They missed shots. They never miss fucking shots.
Eddie, you miss shots in an ECF clinching game. You still score. Somebody's going to score. Outside of Siakam, who scored 15. You think another starter would score over 10? Eddie, we slapped them around. Tonight was a kind of win that. Listen, I'm not saying, again, the Knicks are going to win the series. Gun to my head, the odds are always stacked against you down 3-1. But if there was ever a time to think, NBA's weird this year, weird shit's been happening left and right. There's some weird stuff out there. Tonight was the night to kind of feel a little bit more optimistic about the chances of the Knicks maybe pulling off a miracle. And I'm not doubting this team. I'm not, you know why? I'm not doubting Jalen Brunson. I am not. And at this point, I'm almost feeling the same way about Cat.
Don't you feel like they sort of have his number, though? I take tonight out of it. They kind of have his number. He's been turning the fucking ball over. They've been getting the most production out of a lineup that has DeLon Wright, Landry Shamet, Josh Hart, Mitchell Robinson, and Karl-Anthony Towns. If you look at that lineup right there, I guarantee you that's got
That's
the
the best
highest
lineup,
plus minus
yeah.
out of all 5. I don't know what it is offhand, but if you put that lineup together, I just told you that is the best lineup on the court for the Knicks.
Yeah,
It's
I mean,
not
even
Jalen Brunson's minutes. It's that one with
yeah,
DeLon Wright.
because
I
even
mean,
when
I think Landry Shamit's name tonight in the Garden.
but even when Brunson was off the court tonight, like Cat was on there with 4 defensive guys. So I think that was also a big key too. I want to see them stagger their minutes a little bit more, and they did that tonight. They kind of didn't stagger too much with Cat and Brunson in game 1 and game 2. But if Tibbs can do what he did tonight in game 6 and figure out not perfect rotations, but close to perfect rotations,
And what is
would
that?
be huge.
What is those perfect rotations?
I
What is
think
the
when
perfect
you know
rotation?
you roll out there with the starting 5 that you have the past few games with Mitch out there instead of Josh Hart, and then you pull off Cat, you let Brunson do his whole first quarter thing, and then Cat gets those early minutes in the second quarter or the early minutes in the fourth quarter. But with Cat, you got to put 4 defensive guys with him, and same thing with Brunson. Like if you're going to have one of those guys on the court for a long period of time, which they're usually out there for because they're our best 2 players, you got to put them out there with 4 defensive studs because they're going to attack.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
I'm
did
just
not
gonna
have the
say.
lead
Mhm.
at any point tonight.
No,
Eddie.
it's a wire-to-wire victory.
It was a
Wire
start
to
to
wire.
finish Knicks win. And I'll say this, you're right about Brunson to a degree. When they're playing their brand of ball, when they're playing a high-paced game,
Brunson can't hang.
Brunson's out. Yeah, Brunson's out to lunch a little bit. He still gives you quality value.
Oh,
He's
he
still
was
a
great
25-point guy.
Efficiently, he was great.
Slow this game down. Game 6, keep this brand. They have to play game 6 like they played tonight. It'll be closer because they're home. They'll figure out a way to make a run in the third and maybe even in the fourth where it's wire to wire. But keep this brand, flowing in game 6. Keep this the way that you want to, play wire to wire. Keep it this way. Keep it slower, half court. We'll get in their grill. They have nowhere to go with the ball in the half court. We have 2 places to go at least with Cat and Jalen. So that's what they need to do, man. This is the Knicks team that beat Boston. This is the Knicks team that was favored before this series. This is a team that's still healthy, Eddie. To your credit, you were right last week about, hey, you only got this opportunity. And I think they're feeling that too. They might not be able to make this.
Hey!
There he is.
What's up, boys?
Oh, look at that tan over there, kid. Bro, you living the life, dude. You look like you've been hanging out on the beach
In and out,
with
coming
good-looking girls.
late
This
to
dude's on
work.
yachts all day. Look at this goat.
Come on, Eddie.
Look at this goat. Look at this young goat. What's up, Sonny?
What up,
What
Sonny?
a game, dude. It's exactly what you need to see. How you guys feeling?
Great.
Great.
Feeling good, bro. Feeling
Yeah,
good. Eddie's glass half empty. I'm glass half
Unsurprising.
I'm not
Unsurprising.
getting fucking jerked off by this team. I'm sorry. I'm not with the whole, we're going to win one for the Gipper. This fucking team hasn't lost 3 games in forever, so whatever.
Eddie, if I told you beginning of the season you win 1 game and you get to play a game 7 at home to go to the finals, you would have said yes in a heartbeat. Come on.
Yeah, but if you would have
Come
told me
on.
the circumstances leading up to it, that the whole team is fucking healthy and we're losing to the Pacers, no.
All right, but what do you want to do now? Like we put ourselves in the spot. Let's go get out of it. Like, I don't know. I'm with you. It sucked to be like this. You should have had control of the series after game 1. That's obviously clear. All the 4 of us and everyone listening knows that. But you're in the situation. Go get yourself out of it. It'd be an even better story.
My question, Sonny, is and when you think about a win like this in the context of being down 3-1, is it unrealistic to say, based on this, stats, statistics to put into play here and the win probability series wise for Indiana? Yeah, we did win tonight, but numbers are numbers and stats and history's history. I mean, is this different? And how could it be different? I mean, we brought up that Denver came back from 3-1 twice in 2020, but that was the bubble year. And before that, obviously LeBron and that 3-1 comeback against Golden State in the finals. But I don't know, something to me just feels a little bit different and I'm trying to take my Knicks fandom out of it, but I think we're just better than them. Like, I think they could clamp down mentally.
We are not fucking better than them. They have shown all series that they are fucking They beat the shit out of them. Get the fuck out of here. We're better than them. We are not better than this team.
We are better than them,
Really
Eddie.
better
We are
than
better than them.
Get
Eddie,
the
at our
fuck
best,
Better is
at our best, we are
subjective
better
term,
than them.
better
but
than them. Get the fuck
Eddie,
out.
Eddie, they didn't have
Be better than them. I think we can
Sonny,
say that.
they had. Did you see their starters? 3 points, 5 points. 6
Okay,
points,
that's
8
enough.
Halliburton didn't even shoot the
That's
ball.
pathetic.
Yeah, and Halliburton will come back and have a fucking triple
But what I
double.
don't understand is it looked like there was the first time all series where we decided to press their ball handlers the way they've been doing to us all series. And I think what they realized tonight is that you have to force the refs to make the call. Yeah, we can all get upset about how it's being wrapped up to this point. But I think tonight they came out and you saw McHale from the first 2 minutes of the game was picking up Halliburton at the opposing free throw line. And the thing about that is it's not even about getting a steal. It's not even about forcing a turnover. It's literally stopping his momentum so he can't get a straight line into their action. And we know that they're one of the fastest teams. And even him, like I said, like even him just shading him, flip your hips, stay in front of him, that did so much to slow their initiation down. And then once you get lower into the shot clock, one of the things I noticed in the series, they've been hitting a lot of late shot clock plays, whether that's getting to the line, getting fouled, or hitting shots on kickouts. And a lot of that stems from the fact that they get into their action so early that they have so much time for the off-ball cutters like Obi. They have so much time for Nembhard to get the ball on a pin-down screen and use the bionic shoulder. When you get up into them in the in the full court press, what that does is they get into their action so much later, and they don't have as much time to hit that fourth, fifth, sixth option on a motion play because the shot clock runs out. I saw that a few times tonight where they started scrambling late. And to be fair, I think the funniest part about basketball more than any other sport, except for maybe baseball, is that if the shots go in, you win the game most of the time. If the shots don't go in, you lose the game most of the time.
But this is the first time we held them to these percentages. It's
100%. 100%. And you're going to look at that as the pessimistic fan and say it's a fluke. They're going to make those shots next game. Right. And I'm going to look at that as the optimistic fan and say we did something different tonight that was forcing them to beat us. And I don't think Halliburton's an incredible top tier, like upper best in the league in some people's opinions, facilitator. He creates for others at a rate that not many players in NBA history have been able to do. That being said, the 30-point scoring games that he's been showing, that's not who he's been throughout his career. Now, he's shown he can reach those levels, but you can see in our back-to-back Knicks wins, he came up short. And my grandpa was talking to me about it, and he is a Philly fan, so I don't trust most of the things he says, but he recognizes like there's no way Halliburton in these two big games can come up short like that. And you see him do something last game where he has the sorry about that. You see him last game how he has the ridiculous scoring with the no turnovers, and sure, that's great, but this is the Halliburton that we've become more used to seeing, at least in these high pressure games.
Yeah, man, Halliburton didn't have a point, right? He didn't have a field goal.
What did he finish with tonight? He was under
points.
10, obviously, clearly.
Yeah, I think he was 1 for. I only think he took 6 or 7 shots.
And the other thing with this kind of game, right, where the pace is as slow as it was, where they're playing our brand of basketball, we're not getting so many stupid fouls. You're not putting them at the line. They don't feel like they're in control of the game. If you look at our starters, we didn't get into any foul trouble outside of Cat, who again got his 5th foul, but like McHale had 1 foul, Brunson had 2. Mitch, had 3. Mitch has 4 on the blink of an eye. So, like, they played a game where it was clean, for their standard. I mean, like, it was just a clean game. We didn't blow them out, but we controlled the entire game. That's a Knicks win, man. That's it. And, Sonny, I was saying this. If we play their brand, they're probably going to win. If they play our brand, I think we're definitely going to win. And I think if we combine them and we meet in the middle, I still give us the edge. Now, game 1 is potentially going to bite us in the ass. Game 1 is potentially. I love how, like, we're all excited. Jimmy's drinking a freaking beer. Jimmy's got a mug over there. I like that. That's what I should be doing.
Jimmy, they call him Jimmy, 2 times. Jimmy 2 times.
Yeah, Jimmy 2 times. Because he doesn't sip 1 time. He sips.
You got to go get the papers.
Yeah.
Dude, this game, and it's.
What are you guys all? We're going to come back and win one for the Gipper. Okay.
I just don't understand doing anything otherwise. I just don't understand because I don't want to get jerked off.
All right, I don't want to fucking go and not get a fuck. I don't want to get teased again like some cocksucker, some fucking sucker. I don't want to be a sucker. Okay.
It's not.
You get
There's
the girl,
being
she
a
takes
fan
you
and
home,
there's
and
being
she
a
takes
sucker.
off. That's what the Knicks are.
But Eddie,
right?
you're allowed to be a
You go
fan.
home
though.
with nothing. Nothing
You're
happened.
allowed to be a fan of the team that you've watched struggle for the past however long you want to say.
I don't want to
Like,
hear about that shit. I don't want to hear about 25 years. Fuck you and your 25 years.
All right, let's ask Sonny though, and Jimmy too. You didn't give us your opinion. We know where Eddie stands. I said, gun to my head right now.
Cooked.
Let's get down to business. Are we gonna win the series? Gun to my head. I'm still no, but I am closer to wanting to flip that or closer in the middle than I was way closer in the middle based on tonight's performance. How do you guys feel? Gun to your head. Are you still thinking Indiana's got the series? Jimmy, what do you guys like? Gun to your, you guys actually believe that the Knicks can win game 6 and then win game 7 at home?
No, absolutely not.
Gun to my head, we're winning game 6. I don't know about game 7.
All right, fair enough.
I said it last time too. Pacers in 7, but at least give me the tease. Give me the tease. I want it.
What the tease?
I want it because I just want to see what this team is built off. Because win or lose that game 7, it will show me that we need to keep Cat. We need to keep this starting 5.
Well, I'm just saying I'm just saying that may not. I was about to bring that up. That may not be the best scenario because if you do have this tease, then they think that they have a championship caliber team and they're not going to make many changes. So I'm just saying there is a weird situation here where let's say hypothetically the Knicks did get blown out tonight, just to play the Eddie card, then you're going to look at major changes from the head coach to the last time.
They're pussies, so they'll never do anything.
Eddie, do you think it's possible for a team to get to a game 7 and lose that's nowhere near a finals contender?
Well, we are near a finals contender because the East is a joke. So, yeah. The East is a joke. Again.
But if the East is a joke, then...
we beat Detroit. Wow.
Eddie, it sounds like the West outside of OKC. You think Minnesota? Is Minnesota like some perennial?
Minnesota probably would have wiped us. Because they match
No, we would have wiped them. No, we would have wiped them. We would have
I don't know about that. What you're going to do?
Right with your attitude as a fan.
Oklahoma City is will fucking destroy us.
You're acknowledging that we're close to a finals. You're acknowledging that the East is
close
weak.
To a finals
and you're acknowledging that our team right now isn't perfect. So isn't the only outlook to have a positive one then? Because going forward, if it doesn't work out this year, you're saying we're so close and our team's not even that good.
No,
if we get any better than we are this year, we go to a finals?
We don't have any assets to go out and make the team better. We just got to hope and pray a couple of fucking vets will come here for $2 million, which will probably happen. They could do that, but that's the best you're improving. Are you gonna trade Mitch? You gonna trade Josh Hart? Because that's all there is to trade, unless you want to trade fucking 5 picks or OG. I'll trade Cat in a heartbeat.
You guys want to laugh? By the way, we're almost at 600 in the stream. Shout outs to the people tuning in, and I'm looking at like including yours. But I'm looking at like the Spaces streams, like who's at the top. Alex Jones right now has 300,000 people. You ever see Alex Jones going live? The dude will have like 1.8 million people. Like
I never even
there's literally 1.8 million people that are tuning into him. I don't know. I just always notice.
What are they making the frogs gay? They're poisoning the water. They're making the frogs gay.
That guy, that's an interesting guy right there.
Yeah, it's just funny how like every time I look at it, like the NBA's got 17,000 people and Alex Jones has 300,000.
Eddie, you can't pretend that you would have rather they'd lost tonight's game.
I don't want this fucking. I don't want.
You actually can't say to us right now that you're glad they won tonight?
Big fucking deal. Like they held them under fucking 40%. Do it 2 games in a row. That's their bread and butter, defense, right? And every fucking time they go to Indiana, they can't be stopped. We can't. Even the game we won, they shot fucking almost 50%.
But we won.
Just saying, they can't stop these motherfuckers.
Eddie, let me ask you a question. What kind of win would have given you some more confidence in this team?
We won by 17, just for the record.
Yeah, and like I don't even care too much about Like, it's not like this was like an OKC kind of win where you're just up by 35-40. That's not how the Knicks play. But if there's ever a kind of game that you're looking at,
well, in the
like,
regular season, they play like that, Frankie. They would blow teams out. Most of their wins
would be up
were
25.
blowouts. We only had 11 games decided within 5 points in the regular season.
We talked about that a lot, Eddie.
Only 11 games.
Well, when you asked me if I thought when we did the last show before the playoffs, and I said that, and you asked for the predictions, and I said I think the Knicks are going to win the East, and you asked me what have I seen to back that up, and I just told you that I believe in the fact that our players are built for playoff moments. They went into Boston.
It's very flawed. That's what I've noticed. He's a flawed fucking
I don't
player.
get how you watch the Knicks like this, Eddie. It fascinates me. I don't get how you watch a team like this.
Eddie, let me say this. Jalen Brunson, for as flawed as some elements to his game are, obviously defensively, and he does to a degree, he's not the best facilitator. Like, he's not moving, he's not bringing the ball up the floor.
He used to be during the regular season.
Yeah, but I'm saying he's not that kind of guy where he's throwing some cross-court pass in the corner, doing like a Halliburton LeBron kind of thing. No, but Eddie, for all of his deficiencies as a player, and those stem from just two things. One, his size, his athleticism, and two, he's a score-first point guard. For those two deficiencies in his game for being a one, Eddie, he's phenomenal. He wills you back. He's willing his team right now. And I said this.
Time, yes.
The start of that game, Eddie.
Yeah,
yeah.
When you see this team and they beat you by committee, and when are they going to stop TJ McConnell? When is Carlton Towns going to stop TJ McConnell? Is he just going to let him take his little fucking out on the foul and the free throw line every single shot he takes and he hits it?
I don't know.
He's a fucking I'm fucking more athletic than that guy. Get the fuck out of here.
TJ McConnell does piss me off. I can't lie there. Like I've been saying the same thing all series too. Whenever TJ McConnell's on the court, he's going out there to score. He's not going out there to do anything else.
And he has the same fucking shot every time.
Why?
Right above the free throw line, straight up. You watch this how many times and you can't stop it? Carlton Towns the biggest pussy going, bro. He is.
Sometimes I'll take Cat on the defensive end. Only sometimes on a night like tonight.
Please.
The defensive end. Like
that's the problem with this fucking team is you got him and Jalen Brunson that cannot guard you can't guard anybody.
Hey,
and you have OG Anunoby and Mikal Bridges who are extremely overrated, especially Mikal Bridges. His point of attack defense sucks.
So Eddie, you don't give them any credit for what they did tonight? Like
Eddie,
I'll watch the game where they
Eddie, I'll say this. If Halliburton is playing a slower pace, half-court game, he is not Tyrese Halliburton. Arguably, they get better production from their one with TJ McConnell in those situations than Halliburton. If the Knicks,
Halliburton's on, he destroys us.
If they're playing a fast pace and they're turning the ball over and Halliburton's, streaming down the court, of course, or he's bringing the ball up the court. He's long. He's got long strides. The dude floats in space. You didn't see any of that tonight because the Knicks played their brand of basketball tonight, which they can't beat us doing. There is no way.
We're lucky to get stops tonight. That's the difference between every other game. The first night we actually stopped these assholes. This is the first fucking night. So that's
them in game one until that little stretch they went on. I mean, Eddie, you really think are you certain that the Pacers are better than us? Like,
yes.
Are you?
They're not better than
They are a better. Teams win the championship now. Teams win. It's team ball. The best team wins. Go by from the last 7 years, from the fucking 19 Raptors on. It's the best teams that win, and they beat you by fucking committee. You don't need. You could have your one star, and that's good. But after that, it's not a fucking super teams. They don't win anymore. It's the best teams. And right now, the two best teams are Oklahoma City and the Indiana Pacers. Those are the two best teams. We are not a good team. We're a good fucking starting five. That's what we are.
Eddie, we controlled the game from start to finish. They didn't have a lead.
Okay, for the first fucking
and the only win probability.
Fucking times.
Eddie, but dude, this is their closeout game. They didn't have a starter score over 15 points. They had 4 starters score under 10 points. That's embarrassing. in a closeout. It's just that's my point. What other team is the second best team in the league in a closeout game and duds it like their starters did tonight? I don't know. Minnesota's not doing that. I mean, like we're not doing that. I don't think.
Done. So
OKC didn't do it though.
what do you mean?
Like they had their back. They didn't have their backs against the wall. Minnesota had their backs against the wall. Obviously down 3-1, and they blew Minnesota out. But they didn't give them a chance with a chance to go to the finals.
Wow.
Indiana.
That's good. That's going to be the picture on what's today? Thursday. That'll be Saturday night.
Even last night,
I think
like
they're going to
Timberwolves last night. Randall had 24. Freaking Edwards had 19. I'm just saying, like, even them getting blown out by 30, they still had two starters.
Because Oklahoma City's such a good team, Frankie. They beat you 9-10 different ways. You guys know that.
I just think it's a little alarming. I think it's a little, if you're a Pacers fan, I think it's a little alarming seeing your starters do what they did tonight. Bro, I'm just saying it's not a little, it's actually very alarming.
Turnovers than us, and they're going to do it again on in game 6.
We'll see.
The same fucking thing. They're going to run us out the gym. That's the only thing we didn't let them do.
They might. You might be right. I'm not saying you're wrong. Again, gun to my head, we're not winning the series. Yeah, Sonny, what are you saying?
What did you say about the turnovers, Eddie?
I said tonight was the first night where we didn't get killed off the points of a turnovers. Every single game, they've been destroying us, and all our turnovers are leading to points for them. We get turnovers, it doesn't lead to buckets. That's a difference.
Yeah. We had less turnovers, but we also had
more conceded points.
Yeah, they had more turnovers.
And that's been the whole series. And you watch, even in like the fourth quarter when we were doing well, like we were still turning the ball over. And I'm thinking to myself, like, yo, like it's a 14-point game. Another turnover here and there. They could make this down to single digits. They're sloppy, man. The Knicks are fucking sloppy in the fucking most important games. That's why I don't believe in them.
I'm going to show you guys something right now. Do you know what I would show?
I don't mean to be the bearer of bad news or anything. I'm just not. I don't buy it. That's it. Simple.
Eddie, share what I just put up. If I'm Tibbs, I'm showing this, and I'm telling the boys, you're going to let this dude with that expression losing, like his shit don't stink. You think Jalen Brunson's a dog? Jalen Brunson's a dog. He's more of a dog than this dude is. This dude embarrassed himself tonight. That was an embarrassing effort.
What do they do after this?
He's doing Jalen Brunson's celebration. Like, there's a lot of billboard material that Tyrese Halliburton is creating this series. If I'm Tibbs, I'm putting that right up on the bulletin board.
That was first of all, that was so foul to do Brunson Selly. Like, that might come back to be the dumbest. If you do the cat or the McHale thing, whatever, you want to do a cat Selly, that's fine. Doing the Brunson is insane in that moment.
You guys have that? Because I didn't see it.
Oh, he did. And I can't believe that he did that.
In the audience?
I can't believe he did that. Like, it's just one of those things where I know the type of player he is, and I actually respect him for it. How he tries to give a celebration, like it's a cool, iconic thing, whatever. But to do that when everything's going your way, like that personal of a Selly is just.
He's a cocksucker.
This one was enough. This one was enough.
Yeah, he's a little cocksucker. That's what that guy is, man.
Listen, I would love for that to bite them. I would
love for that to bite them.
And Brunson came in playing.
Jimmy, you're right though. If there's any bulletin board material that you're gonna give the team, he's an asshole. He's trying to be Reggie Miller.
But he did this
last game.
Okay. Well, yeah, after he had a fucking triple-double with 35.
That's what we're saying, though. Why? I don't understand why he would pick Brunson's. Like, you think Brunson
because he thinks he's better than Brunson. Don't you realize that?
He's not, though.
Is he not?
He feels like
in the biggest games. Has he not outplayed Brunson?
I don't think so.
He's outplayed him this series. How many turnovers Brunson has this series?
Brunson outplayed him more tonight than he's outplayed Brunson in any game by far. By far.
I disagree.
By far.
Brunson
on a one-to-one basis.
Brunson outplayed him tonight.
Game. Yeah,
worse than Halliburton's outplayed him by far.
Brunson proved Brunson was a star tonight, right? Halliburton wasn't.
He was efficient. I wouldn't say he's a star. He sat big minutes. He sat very important minutes.
But
We're
Halliburton,
not
listen,
going to here and say this guy was just taking over the game 48 minutes. No.
what if
Get some
if
more
Jalen Brunson had a performance tonight like Halliburton did, where he didn't score in the first half and ended up with 8 points? I mean, we would be destroying the dude in their situation, even up. You're like, why? How could you do this? It's a clinching game. You haven't been to the finals in 25 years. How can you come out and do what you did? Like, Halliburton's not going to hear that because it's a different media market and it's a different fan base, but he deserves to. Halliburton played like crap tonight. He played like dog shit, and McConnell played better than him.
He came to play, to be honest with you.
They
Other
did.
than Benedict Matthews,
7 shots.
I don't think any of them really came to play. Besides TJ McConnell, who plays every.
Yeah, but compare them to OKC last night. OKC knows they have to clinch it, knows they need some rest, knows the NBA Finals are lurking. They're right there in front of
They
you.
don't need any rest. They're all young. They're all
Yeah, that's fine. They came out and they kicked their ass. Indiana, I'm sure, had somewhat of that mentality. Clearly, they went up against a team that I think is better than them in the Knicks, and we proved it tonight. That's my opinion. That's not to say we're going to win the series. That's fair. I mean, you could believe
because
that.
As a collective, and this is what I'm saying, as a collective, they're better. Like Obi Toppin has silently been killing us this year.
I know we lost game 1.
He's extremely efficient.
I know we lost game 1, but that's the flipping point of the series. Obviously, that game's the difference maker. I would, once again, I'm acknowledging we lost, but we were better than them that night.
Mm-hmm.
We had a putrid end to the game overall. So that means that we've been the better team for more games than not. We blew literally one of the worst.
How many 60-point halves have they had, Sonny? Look how many 60-point halves they had. Like it's fucking incredible. These guys, when they score, they literally, we have no answer for them, and that's my problem.
We were the better team in more games than them.
Stop them.
All I'm saying is we were the better team in more games than them so far. And whether or not you think Indiana's better, you can't think that they're much better. I think we are much better than them.
Much better.
I think us at our best is a different caliber of team.
But Sonny, the thing with saying that, listen, I think we're better, but it's very close to me overall. I'm just saying because they're constructed in a more unique sort of way that plays into what they do. They don't really have many glaring weaknesses from a 1 through 5. But
to be fair, I don't want to play the semantics game too because I kind of am doing that a bit, so I'll acknowledge that. But I'm saying that us executing at our best, us with our players that we're giving the contracts to, that we traded the picks to, our star guys showing up, we are not turning the ball over, rebounding on the glass, Mitch being Mitch, Deuce being Deuce. Us at our best is a better team than the Pacers. Maybe not much better, but like legitimately better than them. I truly believe that. Now, I guess my overall point to tie it back in, Eddie, to what we've talked about is that I don't think this is this Knicks team at its best. I think if you give this team another year to play together, next year you don't have to make many moves. I promise you this team will elevate again. This is not the best we will see this Knicks team. That's why I'm saying to you, even if you don't think this is the year, even if you don't think this is the year, there's no reason to not be optimistic about.
We need a number 3 option, and we don't have it, Sonny. We need Dante DiVincenzo. That's what we really need.
I thought Mikal was pretty good tonight.
You know what we need in game 6, though? We need Mikal or OG, one of those two.
Yeah,
OG again was 1 of 7 from the 3. Yeah, me and Eddie and Jimmy were saying, Sonny, we think we need maybe 40 to 45 points combined by both of those guys in game 6 to have a chance. I don't know if you believe that, but they're averaging around 17. They're going to need to up that. They're going to need at least 10 more than that. They're going to need 45-ish points,
I'll tell you right now that Mikal will have the shot attempts because he gets the ball off a lot of action where he pushes it, does the push dribble to the middle of the court.
He never gets
I love when he does that.
Fouled, though.
But let me finish. He will be doing that. Like, I'm not worried about Mikal getting the shots up. He had 12 points on 12 shots. That's not great, but it's not awful. And OG tonight alone, OG was terrible tonight offensively. He missed more open threes on kickouts. Those threes that he missed tonight alone will get him mostly to 20 points. So we are going to need those from
OG was 3 of 14 tonight, Sonny.
1 of 7 from 3. It didn't matter tonight because, like I said, we were able to go to other options and it didn't come to hurt us.
Bridges was 6 of 12. I'll give him that.
In the playoffs, when you get stops, Like you have to convert on those same opportunities.
And that's been the
Especially when
problem.
you're trying to close a team. You can score and not get stops, you'll lose every game. And you can get stops and not score, you'll lose every game. The only way to actually win a game is in the crunch time. You have to pair a stop with a score. And OG missed so many kick-out threes tonight off of stops, off of turnovers. But as dumb as it sounds, as convoluted of an optimistic fan as I am, that makes me feel better about next game because I don't think he's going to miss those looks again, and I think we'll be able to generate them in the same way.
I think they're going to shoot better, and that's what worries me, and that's why I think we're going to get packed in Game 6. I think they're going to shoot, and we're going to have no answer for it.
They're going to shoot better. Just how much better?
How many of you guys think this is going to 7? Raise your hand.
It's going to 7.
50-50. So it's Frankie. You
the only reason, guys, I'll say this: if I think it's going to 7, I think we're going to win the series, and I still don't think we're going to win the series. To be realistic,
So
I don't think we're going to win the series. I don't think it's going. I think Game 6 is going to be. It's going to be a tight game. But I was wrong. I thought they were going to pack us up tonight. I was clearly wrong. I hope I'm wrong again. I think Game 6 is going to be tight. I'm telling you guys, Game 6 is going to go right down to the wire, and I think the flaws will again come to bite us in the ass. Whether it's because we're in foul trouble, or maybe too many turnovers, but if Brunson and Cat can bring some magic late in that game, I'm telling you guys, Saturday. Remember this. Saturday's going to come down to the last couple possessions on both sides, and they're going to be pissed off about tonight. So they're going to do whatever they can to limit what happened tonight. And they're going to try to up that pace. They're going to be running like freaking gazelles come Saturday night. And they better get ready, the Knicks, because Saturday's not going to be like tonight. I'll say that. I don't think we're going to win Game 6. And if I did, I'm telling you, if we do win Game 6, they're going to win Game 7. They're going to come back to New York, and they're going to beat them in Game 7. Another tight game. So that's my opinion.
As long as this
who the hell am I? But that's just what I think.
As long as it doesn't end up a ref show, I like our odds. If it turns into a ref game again, we're done. I'll honestly admit that. If it turns into a Brunson has 3 fouls in the first half, Cat has 3 fouls in the first quarter, OG has fouls. If it comes down to that and then it's a free throw game, I don't like our chances anymore. And I used to think the opposite, but against this team, they're, I guess, better at playing that game than we are. If we can stay out of the fouls and the refs let us play defense like we played tonight, and they're not calling missed or trying to box out, I really think it starts with the fouls because we're such a bad team when it comes to figuring out our rotations. Like we are without, like this isn't even up for debate. Minnesota kind of because they got so desperate, but we are by far the team with the most variance in our playoff rotations. Like these other teams in the league, obviously there are only 3 left in this series, but even going back to last series, these are teams that had pretty stable rotations. Now you want to bring up Golden State, fine. There were obviously reasons with Kuminga and Steph getting hurt. Like that's a context-based thing. But for the most part, we're the only team that literally plays lineups that have not played once the entire year. And the fact that we're able to still pull that out and win means that when we get into foul trouble, the lineup configuration just goes like we go from this, we expand a little bit on games like tonight, and then when the fouls come into play, we go to a spot that we have never tried even in the regular season against the Wizards. So I feel like if we can keep it where we're using some flexibility, we're seeing guys come off the bench like Shamet, Delon Wright, who had a weird missed layup, but other than that was pretty good.
He was all for tonight, Delon.
If we can get to that, where we're experimenting, but we're not changing everything up, I like our odds. And I think it'll come out to Game 7.
Eddie, we got the juju outside of MSG right now. 7th Ave is popping. If you're down there, look at these assholes, Eddie. They're beating up Halliburton out there. They found him. They took
share it.
Yeah, share it. There we go. Oh, look at these guys, dude. That's Halliburton.
Oh,
dude.
look at this. Oh, yeah, you won. You pushed the game. This Game 6 series. You won 2 games. Wow.
I don't like that because Tyrese is just he's a gamer, bro. He's a gamer.
Off that shit.
He's a dude. Listen, Tyrese is a gamer when the game is flowing for him.
Yeah.
He wasn't a gamer tonight. Tyrese Halliburton was dog shit tonight. I don't want to hear anything about this guy being a superstar. I'm telling you, I don't care about his last. He's not a superstar. No, he's not. Eddie, a superstar doesn't come out tonight. Eddie, a superstar does not come out and not score. And he doesn't score in the first half in a game to bring your team to finals. That's not a superstar. I don't give a shit. Is
Jalen Brunson a superstar? Yes or no?
I say yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So
barely a superstar. He barely hits that line because
has Halliburton outplayed Jalen Brunson in the series?
But look what
I don't think so.
Yes, he has.
Look
how many fucking turnovers has Halliburton had this series? How many?
Not many.
I
he didn't have any turnovers tonight.
Yeah, back-to-back games without a turnover. That's especially when you're a point guard with the amount of passes.
That's what superstars do.
Yeah.
They fucking buckle down, and that's what he's done.
Superstars like Brunson tonight also come out in the first quarter firing in a must-win game, 14 points. Comes out in the third quarter. I think he had, 15 points in the third quarter? Something along those lines. He came out firing. He came out desperate.
He played well. I'll give him that. He did play well shooting-wise.
Yes.
His defense is still atrocious.
His defense.
And by the way, I don't know. Landry Shamit's 2 or 3 from the field, and we're gonna chant this guy's fucking name. Like, really? Like that's what we're doing now?
I'll
Landry Shamit. Okay.
Come on, you know that's how the Garden can get. It's not.
God. Yeah, that's good. These jerk-offs burning jerseys up there.
Well, Nick just had a comment on the stream. Shout out to Nicky Span over there. Oh man, the Knicks fans are jinxing this team again. The worst. I do feel them a little bit with all these celebrations that we do after every win. I do think it's not only bulletin board material for the other team, but it can be a little bit. I don't know. I believe a little bit in that, but I just think. Listen, every time I think this team's out of it, I think about Jalen Brunson.
Pull me back in.
Yes, they pull me back in because of Jalen Brunson. That's it. I think about that guy's grit, that guy's clutch gene. That guy has something in that Jordan Kobe accord. He's got that in him. And I hate going there. I hate even thinking of that way, but I'm telling you, this guy's different. Now, is it enough? I would say not at this point because of what happened in game 1 and being down 3-1 and the stats to back up teams that are up 3-1. It's nearly impossible. It's a 4% chance. But if there's ever a time where I think there's something weird happening out there, there's something weird happening.
It's because game 6 is so important. Game 6 is the most important game in the entire series. Maybe more important than game 7 because game 6 is when I don't know what the stat is, but that's when the team down 3-1 gets wrapped up.
Yeah, that's true.
That's usually the way it goes down.
Sonny and Jimmy, how bad did Eddie want the Knicks to lose?
I don't want them to fucking lose.
He doesn't want to be hurt, and I understand that because, like, as a co-Mets fan with Eddie, we get hurt.
Oh my God,
we get hurt a lot. Our sports teams hurt us a lot. They
Eddie basks in the negativity. Eddie just loves
they're the biggest fucking joke.
It's like avoiding. It's like when you're avoiding a relationship because you just came out of a previous relationship.
He's a fucking whore.
Your heart away. This is what the Knicks and the Mets, even the Jets, with the Aaron Rodgers. That's what it's like. That's what it's like.
Oh, Aaron Rodgers. How about all those assholes that wanted that guy back? My God. Oh, Justin Fields is going to take us to the promised land, baby. Don't worry. Don't worry, fellas. It's all good. Justin Fields is coming.
We are cursed. Knicks, we're cursed.
We are. But
it's bad. It's bad.
But there's a man out there. There's a man out there that could change it all. And his name isn't Tony. There's another man out there. His name is Jalen Brunson. And Jalen Brunson is Jalen Brunson to me is like he's the antidote potentially to all this New York shit. I just think he is. And I'm not saying tonight was like a game you look at him and you're like, oh, he did everything. No, the team played very well. My Cat played very well. They defensively locked them down. Tonight was our game. Don't be surprised if Jalen Brunson in Game 6 looks at all this Halliburton shit and he goes,
"He's the best player in the
fuck
series."
this
Frankie.
dude.
Jalen
I'm
Brunson?
gonna beat his ass, and I'm gonna prove to everybody why I'm JB, why I'm the clutchest player in the league by a mile. You see those clutch stats? It's Jalen Brunson up here, and the next guy, you got to keep scrolling until you're on page 5.
He's better than Halliburton. He's been better this series, and they're not even in.
He's not, Sonny.
He has, Eddie.
Name us one game that Brunson won for us.
Brunson's been better throughout the series.
I disagree.
He's a better player than Halliburton. He's carried us with scoring better than Halliburton has. Halliburton had a few front-running games, and I can't argue the assist-to-turnover ratio numbers, okay? I'm not going to pretend to do that. He is more of a facilitator from direct passes than Brunson is. But and I say this again, he is so much further from Brunson's scoring ability than Brunson is from his playmaking ability. He is nowhere near in the same tier of scorer than Brunson. It's not even remotely close. Like, even the games where we see him pop off, it's because of variance three-point shooting. It's not really because he's calling ISOs. It's because the team's finding him the ball in rhythm, and it's working out. He's not going and creating the points. The points are coming to him. Now, there's something to be said for a player that does that. I'm not taking anything away from Halliburton, but come playoff time, and you saw it tonight, a night when the ball's not finding him in the offense, where he's not getting the open a game where he's not getting the ball for these open three-point shots. He literally showed you that he cannot just decide, hey, guys, I got us. I'm going to go get a bucket. And to be honest, the part that disappoints me, because you guys, I'm a weird NBA fan, but like, I'm a big Halliburton fan. And the part that bothered me watching his game tonight, I'm a big fan of everyone in the NBA. Like, I don't have many people I dislike.
Yeah, I know. You're one of those like player fans.
But no, not even. I'm just a basketball fan. I appreciate good players in the league. I think Halliburton's a good player. But really to only take 7 shots tonight that's the part that's inexcusable, because you don't know if you're having a good night or not if you only take 7 shots. That's, I guess, what I'm trying to say as a great player. How many times have we seen Brunson start a game 2 for 7, and then the second quarter, the third quarter comes, and he has a 5-possession stretch where he scores 8 points. All of a sudden now he's 5 for 11, 5 for 13. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, how many times have we seen a guy have a cold start but realize that this is a big game, your team needs you, you have to keep shooting the ball?
Sonny, let me ask you something. Really quick.
Yeah.
Halliburton's weakness as a scorer, what is it? I think his setup, his form, he needs
scoring
room.
Off the dribble.
Yeah, he can't. Even when he tries to shoot, he's like,
but sometimes he gets so high.
He's not smooth. He's not smooth in execution in this half court, tight D, slow paced game. He cannot score 25. He's got to be moving. They got to be getting the ball out there in space, like Sonny's saying.
With that.
He can hit the step
Eddie,
back.
what do you mean? Eddie, come on, Eddie.
He can hit the step back three.
This guy, when he's hot, when Halliburton's hot, he will fucking cook you. And he can do a variety of different ways.
For sure. And he was hitting the midi.
You're fucked. You're fucked.
And he was hitting the midi as well. I'm not denying that. He has the ability. That's why I said I'm disappointed in him, because he has the ability. And as a Knicks fan, I'm so happy he stopped shooting, because the only way for us to win that, like, the only way for them to get back in the game would have been for him to show up, and he didn't show up. So I'm very happy he didn't. But it's just it's interesting to me that he shied away from the moment in a way that I don't think I've seen him do that since.
Let me just give a shout out to, I just want to say this about the Knicks defense, specifically when it comes to guarding this Nesmith guy, because everybody thought, granted, he did get hobbled up with that ankle. However, since game 1, Aaron Nesmith has scored 12 points, 8 points, 16 points. Tonight, 3 points, 1 of 8 from the field, 1 of 5 from 3. So for all the people saying this Nesmith guy, you got to watch out for him, you got to be careful, he's going to light it. He hasn't even gotten close to doing what he did in game 1, which to a lot of fans and to a lot of NBA analysts was a very fortunate sort of stretch that he went on, meaning you're never really seeing that. I don't remember the last time I saw a guy be that unconscious, just hitting 3 after 3 after 3 after 3 after 3 after 3. 6 threes he hit in the fourth. he hasn't even come close to getting hot at all. And he's had some potential moments where he could have knocked us out, and he didn't. Pascal did at times, which is why we're down 3-2. But Eddie, we're down, and Jimmy and Sonny, we're down 3-2 at this point. Forget they have to, and stats are stats, and probability is probability. But Eddie, you win game 6. They're not beating us game 7.
What do you think the spread is on game 6? What's the
I
spread?
think Indiana's what? minus 4.5.
4. Very close. Very close.
It makes
Money
sense.
line is Knicks plus 150 for game 6.
Listen, I'll take it. I mean, not that Vegas is
tonight was what? Were we favored tonight?
I'll
Yeah.
Were we favored tonight?
Favored tonight. I think we were favored by like 4 points. Exactly what they're favored at right now.
I just worry about them in the closeout game. I think, you saw what they did to the Cavaliers. We saw what they did to, Milwaukee. And at home, they're just so dangerous. By the way, I was wrong on when they lost 2 in a row. They actually lost 3 in a row in mid-March. And before that, it was 2 in a row in February. But outside of that, they have not had many losses.
See, that makes me happy because that means they're due. That means they're due.
You know when they're gonna lose 3 in a row again, Eddie? You know when they're gonna lose 3
Oh, yeah, we're gonna win right now. Listen.
I got to slide, but I just want to say,
you come in here for fucking 20 minutes and you got to slide.
Dude, look at this.
Eddie,
stuff,
I don't know.
Why is Eddie hating on you, son?
I don't know when I bothered Eddie, but this guy's been texting me crazy. This guy's been
I text him all the time. It's always
this guy's been throwing
come on, no problem.
Eddie forgets I get up at 5 to commute to the city every morning. Eddie forgets. He thinks I can just hang out until 2 a.m. every single night on the street.
This guy has MLB.
Eddie, I'll make a promise to you, Eddie. I'll make a promise to you. After we win these next 2 games, you'll see my smile right here on the screen, all right?
Is that a guarantee?
For game 7, yeah.
Is it a guarantee?
Honey, are you guaranteeing a game 6 win?
I'm guaranteeing a game 6 win because game 6 Saturday is also my birthday. So I refuse to let them lose on my birthday. So it's just like the power of.
How old are you now? 24?
He's a Gemini gang too.
I'll be 23.
That's Gemini gang. There he is.
So it's time to lock in so the Knicks can give me a birthday present. Because if they lose that game, the rest of the night's over.
I will say this. It was my birthday. Is it last night? It was my birthday right now. And they celebrated today.
Let's go. We got the birthday boys. All right. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. What are you, 25?
Yeah, you hit it dead on, baby.
25.
Incredible. James, it's good to see you. Frankie, always a pleasure. Eddie.
Sonny,
we'll make up next time. Don't worry.
Be good.
Yeah,
all right.
winning game 6, but keep hoping. Halliburton's going to cook our ass, but it is what it is. Take it easy,
man. Eddie. I'm with you for the most part, but
I'm not getting hopeful. I'm not.
Listen, you don't have to get hopeful. I'm not saying that, but what I'm saying is if you wanted to see a game that gave you any indication as to this team's ability to potentially force that game 7, tonight was the game you wanted to see. That's all I'm saying.
No.
Granted, yes, you'd want them to blow them out by 30. The Knicks really don't do that in the playoffs, especially against a team like Indiana that can score it like they can. You're not going to beat a team like that by 30, but you were up the entire game. You controlled the game from start to finish. They never really got too close. And
I was expecting this all series.
Yeah.
I really thought this is the way it was going to go.
I mean, if we win game 1, we would have been talking like this.
But our defense is which we're built around. We made all those fucking trades, especially the McHale trade. It was for defense. The OG trade, defense. They've let us down. Other than tonight, they've let us down. And I just really, I don't think it was the defense that stopped them. I just think they went cold.
Yeah. I mean,
I don't think we played some outstanding defensive game.
They definitely went cold, but we take a lot of shots at the Knicks defense, like in, the previous game, in game 1 and game 2, down the stretch in game 1 specifically. We take a lot of shots of their defense, but then they miss shots. And it's like, we got to give some
That's been the problem, though, Jimmy. We get stops, but then we can't convert.
Yeah.
They score, we score. Then they score 3, we hit a 2. Like, that's the shit that drives me crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, game one, they did that. Every single game, that's what I felt like. We're playing behind the 8 ball every fucking game.
Yeah.
And we should really had more games like this, and we just don't.
Yeah.
And that's my problem. And that's why I think Indiana's just a better team. I think they're better.
I know
everybody else doesn't agree with me.
I think they play better. I don't want to say they're a better team because I think we have some better players. But at the same time,
1 through 5 were better.
Yes. But at the same time,
outside of that,
I hate saying this because it sounds so cliche right now, but I feel like the Pacers just have better fundamentals. They don't turn the ball over as much outside of tonight.
They don't turn the ball at all.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I liked about tonight? Do you know what I liked from our bench tonight? The best moment tonight, and it's kind of stupid, but it was something I noticed. Did you see when Precious came in the game? Precious hasn't played a minute all series,
He was
right?
actually good.
Yeah, he comes in and he's confident and he finishes. He got an and one. He finished at the rim. Like Precious really doesn't finish much, right? So there's something that this team is confident, is my point. They're a confident team. This Indiana team, it's that. Eddie, we've seen this team, the Knicks, playing Boston in the past. We've seen them, this exact Tibbs kind of team that they shit the bed. They're overwhelmed. They look like crap. Now, granted, we've had moments like that in this series, but overall, I think they all deep down think that they're actually better than Indiana. Now, whether you agree with that or I agree with that or Jimmy or whomever, that's up for debate. We could talk about that all day. However, I think they think that they're better. And tonight sort of showed it to me, but that's not to say we're going to win the series, Eddie, but you got to tip your hat. Yeah.
If they're able to put together this kind of game in game 6, where they leave them at a 40% clip, 41%, whatever they want shot tonight. If you hold them under 45 next game, then maybe you'll make me a believer, right? But it's all about stops. And that's my problem. It's all about them getting points on the break, these easy, fast break points. It's all about them getting points off of turnovers. That's been our death. And it's what destroys me. It makes me fucking nuts because we should be so much better.
Yeah.
Jimmy, what were you going to say? Sorry. I've been cutting
I'm just going to agree with Eddie there. Like the problem all series has been the turnover battle. And even tonight when we won that turnover battle, the Pacers still outscored us in points over turnovers.
Exactly.
So, no matter what, I can accept that. They're going to score more points off of turnovers with their pace. But at the same time, we turn the ball over more than they do. Even if we turn the ball over less, like 2 times less, 3 times, we need to significantly win that battle. Because I know we can get more offensive boards, more second chance points. I know our 2 stars can outscore their, really, I would say 2.5 stars because it's either Miles Turner or Pascal Siakam. Pick one.
Siakam is definitely the star. I think he's the best player, like most consistent player on the team, because he shows up every night.
He has the series. Even tonight, he was their best player.
Yeah, of course.
By the way, shout outs to Mr. Jalen Brunson, Eddie.
You put this on the stage?
Yeah. Put it on. Sonny just sent this to me. Jalen Brunson, last 3 seasons, has the most 30-point playoff games. So that's more than Jason Tatum, who won a championship last year. It's more than Jokic, who won a championship a few years ago. It's more than SGA, who's probably likely going to win a championship this year. I'm just saying, Jalen Brunson's different. And if we can do one thing in game 6, do not open the floodgates. If you can control the pace of the game, when you open the floodgates with Indiana, listen, we're going to know how game 6 is going to go right off the bat.
Yeah.
I think the Knicks will figure it out and find a way to recover to make it a close game. I think it's a close game. It's going to be a close game, but who's in control when that 4th quarter hits? Who's mentally in control? Who do you fear having the ball last or having a potential, well, it depends, I think, how the game starts. I think if Indiana starts, Eddie and Jimmy, if they start fast and it's their kind of game, they're always going to have that advantage.
They're going to wax them.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't know about waxing.
That's what I'm worried about. I'm worried about them waxing us.
The Knicks have I'm telling you, the Knicks and Brunson to me have too much heart. I don't see us getting waxed in game 6. I could see them handily winning game 6 by 7-8 points. I don't think it's going to be a blowout. I could be regretting those words. I also didn't think they were going to win tonight. So I mean, I've been a little off with dissecting this series. I didn't make a call before the series. I'm really not even making a call now necessarily, but I like our leader at the end of the day. Like, I'm trying to think of who I love our leader. I love Jalen Brunson, and I trust Jalen Brunson. And I think we got enough. And I'm telling you guys, the fact that Cat had that little revelation the last couple games where they can't guard the guy. They legit cannot guard Cat. He's an idiot at times where he puts himself in positions like he did to get a stupid foul, and that could have bit us in the ass because you saw what happened with Hackam Mitch, and then they made their little run.
Yeah, they did it again tonight in the third quarter.
That's a Cat problem, but the guy can score, and in the half court, he's the second best scorer in this series, and Brunson's the best scorer in the half court in this series. So if you can keep it in the half court, we might be talking Saturday night and talking about the Knicks forcing a game 7. And if they do force a game 7, I wonder if they force a game 7. I'm curious how these odds will play out. I don't want to, project into the future there because it's whatever. We'll see it if we see it. But what do you guys think? I mean, like, if the Knicks force a game 7, we'll be the favorites. I think it'll be tight. They'll be like a 1.5, 2 points, something like that. But yeah, you can't ask for more than tonight, guys.
I think we'd 100% be the favorites. I feel like every home game in this series, the home team has.
Yeah, we would be the only reason I'm saying we will be the favorites. The only reason, in my opinion, you could still make a point that Indiana would be the favorites is because of what Eddie was saying. They're not. They don't lose 3 in a row. Even when teams are up 3-1. There have been forced game 7s, and usually because of that 3-1 probability, you end up winning one of the next 3. Usually, so like you could see that kind of working itself out numbers wise. But yeah, I think they'll be fair. It'll be tight though. You're talking about a 1.5, I think.
2 years ago, Boston was up 3-0 on Miami, and Miami came back and forced a game 7.
That's true. Yeah.
Okay, that was
Boston was at home, right? I think.
Boston was at home. Yeah, it was the year they lost in the finals.
Yeah.
So
yeah. I mean,
so yeah. Excuse me. Miami won. What am I talking about? Miami got to the finals.
Yeah.
Against
Boston forced a game 7. You're saying?
Yeah. Boston forced a game 7.
Yeah.
So that's where you could say, okay, maybe. But listen, if we win game 6, I would feel much better. I just think that we will not win game 6. I think we're going to lose. I think they're going to kick our ass. That's my gut feeling. I could be wrong. I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm fucking wrong. But that's usually the way it plays out. Game 6 is usually where the team that's up 3-1, the game 5 home team wins. They go back to their own crowd, and they tend to win that game.
Can I get Eddie's thoughts on this clip? Maybe the last clip we'll share of the night. Eddie, I just want your opinions on this. What do you think about this right here?
Knicks is 7! Knicks is 7! It's 100% happening. Game 7, back here. Halliburton. Knicks is 7, baby.
Next game, I think in Indiana we got.
Tyrese Halliburton smells like. It's always been Knicks at 7, baby. New York's the best city in the world.
Best city in the world.
Knicks at 7. I told you what happened already.
Eddie, what do you think about that clip?
I think it's pathetic. Like, it's just a bunch of jerk offs. Yeah, Knicks just they don't know anything about the fucking game. And listen, I get it. You're excited. You're at the game and everything. But, like, get the fuck out of here, man. like, come on, man. Like,
that's like the people that thought with Aaron Rodgers he was going to win a Super Bowl with the Jets, Eddie. It seemed
right. Like, I get it. You're excited. They don't have money to get into the Garden, so they're hanging out in the street.
People thinking like Juan Soto would be like even close to being the best player in baseball after signing $800 million. Kind of the same people.
Yeah, look, man.
Just joking, guys.
Listen, I hope the Knicks win. I do. I just don't. I don't see it. I think we're gonna get waxed in game 6.
Waxed.
Yeah, I think we're gonna get waxed.
I think it's gonna be a tight game. And like
Yeah,
I agree
think
with
so too,
what
James.
Frankie said. We're gonna find out who has control in the game in the first quarter because I feel like whoever wins, I kind of want to get the numbers on this. Whoever has won the first quarter, I feel like has won the game.
It's a good
Well,
call.
in game one, we clearly won the first quarter.
And we should have won that game, but we didn't. So that's the thing that kind of sucks. It took an Aaron Neesmith like
And
miracle performance.
And we had a chance to win game 4.
Yeah.
Missed that away. Like that's how I think game 6 is going to go. The way game 4 went, where we were in it, and then late we just kind of pissed it away. That's how I think it's going to go. Now I could be wrong, and I know I'm like the eternal pessimist, but again, when you have a team like Indiana that has so many different ways to score, they have they get out and they run. And it's really hard to stop them. We cannot stop them. Other than tonight, we can't stop. Like percentage wise, they fucking shoot 50% for the postseason. That's insane. Bro, they're going up against. If they go up against Oklahoma City, like they're gonna run into a really good team. But Oklahoma City's running into a good team too, and that. So
and the thing with the first quarter, too, guys, like the Knicks actually got out to a 10-point lead in the first quarter in this game. That's important, when you're talking about
very important
teams that are equally matched to a degree. I think both teams are equally matched at the end of the day, right? There might be a bad matchup for us. We might have a better roster, quote unquote, with more potential stars, superstars, but they're better coached. They have less weaknesses. They play a better brand, and they know how to play their brand. They've been playing together for a while, these guys. Maybe better coach, but we got the talent, and we don't have a bad coach. We have a very good coach in Tips. But if you get up 10, they have to find a way to climb back down 10 early. And if the pace isn't there, the Pacers are not going to be able to do it. They're not. Pacers are not going to be able in a half-court game, a slow-paced game. They are not going to be able to recover, and they didn't tonight. They were down 10 in the first, and they never saw a lead again. They didn't see a lead actually the entire night.
That's very unusual, though, for the series. That's a very
yeah. If you would have told me when we're up 23-13 in the first, 4 minutes and 30 were left in the first, that the Pacers were never going to have a lead again in the game, I would have said you're crazy. But that was the fact.
Because every game's been back and forth.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely.
I didn't even get comfortable in the fourth. I think they brought it down to 12 at one point.
Yeah, it was getting a little weird.
Is that when they called the timeout?
Yeah, the Knicks called the timeout, and that's when I was thinking, like even Eddie said earlier, like 2 or 3 turnovers, it's a 6-point game. That's exactly what I'm thinking. So props to the Knicks, for not letting them go on that run and kind of putting their foot down and just saying, we're not losing this game. We are going away with a win. But also, Pacers kind of showed me they were kind of due for a run at some point this game. They were due for a run,
right?
But they just never got it.
And that's going to be the key to Game 6. Stop them, get stops, and again, those percentages are everything, man. You got to hold them down. So, if you hold them down and you could somehow, help stop that scoring attack which they have, and you could kind of hold them and slow them down, and grit and grind on defense, then you got a chance. You're in the game. But
I agree.
That's all I got on that. How about you guys? Any final thoughts? Anything else before we wrap this up?
Hey, final thoughts is just it's a 1-game series for the Knicks. That's it.
Yeah.
You got to do.
That's a good way to look at it.
You got to do whatever the hell you can. You have to exhaust every resource. You have to take advantage of every opportunity. You can't even think about a Game 7. You just have to win Game 6. It's 1 game. It's a must-win, obviously, for the Knicks, but this is they have to treat this Game 6 like it's Game 7 of the NBA Finals, in my opinion. They have to do whatever the hell they can. And if that means Cat's got to get his ass on the block early and just take them to town, literally, then he's got to do that. If it means Brunson's got to take over and show everyone in the league that he is one of the best players, maybe the most, well, he is the most clutch player, but he's got to put that stamp on it. He's got to put himself in that conversation where you're putting him right up there with some of the all-time greats. He has the opportunity to do that in game 6, and then he could really get in that conversation in game 7. I know that sounds crazy to people, and it's crazy to me to even talk about Jalen Brunson like that, but this is a monumental sort of game for the Knicks, for Jalen Brunson, for Towns, for Tibbs. This game's going to mean a lot, because then you go to game 7 and
we're in a very good spot if we get to game 7. I'll say that. But I just don't see them getting out of game 6.
You're going to have to hope too, like I hate bringing up the Red Sox. I can't believe I'm bringing them up because I can't stand them, my least favorite team in sports. But when the Red Sox came back from 3-0 against the Yankees, I think about that all the time. That's the worst series loss you could possibly have as a fan. I'd give back a World Series. I'd give back 2009 for that to not have happened. And I'm not saying for them not to have beat us, down 3-0.
That way.
Yeah. You got to hope for some magic. You got to look at game 6. If something crazy happens, someone misses a layup down the stretch, someone misses a free throw, Indiana, we got to get a little lucky. But sports are weird where sometimes luck goes in the team's favor that has those kind of personalities like Jalen Brunson, and maybe a team that was not fortunate in game 1. Maybe karma kind of plays a weird effect in game 6. Maybe something weird happens, like when they got that steal, the Red Sox, when what's his face, the asshole,
Dave Roberts.
Yeah, Dave Roberts. Yeah, literally. Yeah, when Dave Roberts had that steal, I mean, like, little things have to go your way. You got to get a little lucky, but we'll see how the basketball guys upstairs, kind of let this one play out. But I think it's going to be an awesome game to watch, man. At least we have a game Saturday night that we can all gather around, and it's going to be an awesome game to watch. I mean, hopefully it doesn't go the way Eddie thinks it's going to go, but
Jimmy, final thoughts?
I just want a game 7, and I think Frankie hit it on the head. We need to see who Jalen Brunson really is. Us Knicks fans, we keep calling him a superstar. I think game 6. Yeah, I think game 6 is where we really find out. Is this guy a legit superstar? Or is he just an above average star? Because I'm not going to say he's definitely a star. He's definitely better than a star, but it's hard to call him a superstar because he really hasn't had that moment. He's had that moment for
especially this year.
Yeah, 100%. He's had that moment with the Knicks. He had that game-winning shot against Detroit, but that's the first round, so that's not really huge. First round, yada, 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 especially against the Detroit Pistons team that's too young to really even insert in as – we should have had them at 5, but that's another story for another day. But this is where I think we really find out who Jalen Brunson is. And like Frank, you also said who Cat is, because Cat, first overall pick. He was the first overall pick. Got to live up to that potential, and there's a chance you can live up to that potential on Saturday night and force a game 7 and get Eddie's confidence back.
You guys want to hear something? I just got a weird feeling. I just got a very, very weird feeling, guys. I think Mikal Bridges might have a big game 6. Boy. Yeah. He might. Eddie, remember he was dropping 40 back in the day? What if Mikal comes? I'm going to make a take on the U Stadium app. I think Mikal is going to have 30-plus points in game 6.
We win that.
I'm putting that on the U Stadium app. Follow me on Twitter. Follow Eddie. Follow Jim. Follow us all. But follow me.
Yeah, if you guys don't know what U Stadium is, you can get paid up and making a take. So Frankie's retarded take where he thinks fucking Mikal Bridges is going to score over 30. You could just disagree with him, and this way you get free money. That's what you got to do. So he's going to make a dumb take saying that Mikal Bridges. So right now, everybody out there, download U Stadium and disagree with his take, and that's free money in your pockets. And thank Eddie Presti later.
Yeah. Eddie, what's the chance Mikal Bridges has 30 points in game 6?
It's
Give
none.
me a percentage. 0?
I have a better chance of
0%.
I have a better chance of dating Emma Ratajkowski. All right, that's really what that is. I mean, give me a fucking break here. 30 from him. That's insane.
Dude, I'm telling you.
20 maybe, yeah. But I don't even think that, bro. All series, he's like a fucking.
Well, listen, I'll say this. Like, I do think, I think Carlisle, he's gonna have to do 2 things in game 6. One, he's gonna have to bring the pace up if that doesn't happen, if the floodgates aren't open like they like them to be open, if they're not running on the tracks, then I think he's going to do whatever he can to take the ball out of Brunson's hands, take the ball out of Cat's hands. OG and Mikal, they're going to have a lot of looks, guys, on come Saturday night. Those guys, they're going to.
But how bad are they? They're so bad at scoring.
They've been terribly. They play terrible. Excuse me. They've been terrible shooting wise. OG again, 1 of 7. Mikal hasn't been able to put his stamp on this series, but Mikal can shoot. So I'm going to take my little odds on that. I kind of weirdly like that. I don't know.
Right.
I'm feeling.
If you put
I was just
going to say.
I said I had a weird feeling. I had the Jets beating the Cardinals last year, and we got blown out. So yeah. So maybe my weird feelings got to stop.
You could just put $10 to win $180 on McCall to score 30 in that game for Saturday.
Yeah, I could do that. I don't know if the odds will be that good. I think with the amount of people that are going to disagree with me on the app, I might take all the disagrees money, but we'll see. We'll see.
All right. With that said, wrapping up. Appreciate everybody. Let's fucking go Knicks, and that's that. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Good night.